Recording. So hey, it's Bill Gross. Thank you so much for joining us today on our webinar. And today's topic, let me get this screenshot from the beginning, is email marketing for real estate agents. So really, this is one of the most powerful tools that effective marketers and real estate agents use. We have a few people on us, background noise, so I'm going to put everybody on mute. If you're on the GoToWebinar format, you can click the little hands up if you have a question, and I will be glad to entertain any questions. There's also a chat feature. If you put any questions in, I'll be glad to stop at that time. We're going to go ahead and get started and talk about email marketing for real estate agents. So why email marketing, I guess is the first question we want to ask. What is it about email marketing that's so important? So the first thing I would say is that email marketing has the best return on investment of any marketing activity real estate agents can use. InTouch Media says that email marketing is the most effective marketing product that you can use to leverage your business. And there's actually some statistics on the subject that I found fascinating, that the Direct Marketing Association says that email marketing delivers a 4,300% return on investment, which means for $1 earned, you return back $43. And the reason why is because email is so inexpensive and such a powerful tool to reach so many people. And so as real estate agents, those who are starting new, I think I talked to one, Pat, who's relatively new, and those who have been in the business a while, I talked to, I think, Bobby before we started, who fits in that category. In both cases, there's a lot of free, and I'm going to talk about today things that are basically free to help you leverage to people that you've collected email addresses on. I'd also say another reason why email marketing is that customers want it. There's an amazing statistic a company called Brafton Marketing put out. They said that 33% of consumers indicate that brands should invest more in their email campaigns, which was higher than demand for web content and social media and Facebook, meaning the customers who want to do business with you like to get content from email rather than having to look up your website or having to find you on Facebook. Now, the key thing here is it's only 33%, but that's a third of the people who want to work with you. That's their preferred channel. And since it's easy and since it's what customers want, we need to develop a way to reach them and do it cost effectively. So this is what customers want. It's a great return on investment. We're only talking about today things that are free to help you be cost effective and profitable as an agent. So what are the challenges that real estate agents have in setting up an email marketing campaign? So I'd say there's three basic challenges. The first one is there really aren't connections that work, meaning when you use your personal email client, so many real estate agents use Gmail or Yahoo, that doesn't look professional. It doesn't come from a domain name typically as you set it up that way. Most real estate focused products like Top Producer do not efficiently and professionally mail out to your database. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, one of the top programs in the industry, Top Producer, does not tell you how many people opened your emails or which customers are opening your emails or which email addresses are bad, so you at least can know that and perhaps look to exchange it. Also, if you try to use a CRM program, like many of the common ones, you'll find they don't link very well with email programs. So for example, Top Producer, you have to export to an email program like MailChimp. Other programs may not link all the fields over. I have a coaching client I work with today that uses Realty Juggler. And unfortunately, when you export the data, it may not get all the fields into the email program. So when it comes time to run a report of who's opening your email to call them, it doesn't work so well. So it's very complex. The connections just really don't work for most of the products. And there's a lot of reasons why. But as a real estate agent practitioner, just know there is no product that works easily. Second is most of the marketing material you get, most of the templates, just don't work. And there's a number of reasons why they don't. One is that the second subject line usually promotes the company or something else. What do I mean by second subject line? So when you open your email, you'll see the subject line for the email. Then afterwards, you might get a preview. Many of the templates will, in that preview spot, put your social media or put a graphic picture. I saw one company that promotes the charity in this top line on every email template, the charity that they're trying to raise awareness for, which is noble. It just isn't effective from the marketing point. So the one thing you want an email to be effective is, number one, a great subject line. Everybody knows that. But the first text after the subject line, the first thing in your email next, should also be a sentence. This is of interest to the reader. The second reason why most templates don't work is there's way too much graphics. You know, it's great to have a picture to get the point across, but you have about 10 seconds to get somebody's interest, and the first sentence or two has to capture them for that graphic to be valuable in any way. And I see a lot of email templates that have the top thing as the company logo or the company graphic or the agent's picture, which satisfies the ego, but no reader opens your email to see a huge picture of your company logo. Another is, and this is what is changing, is most email templates aren't mobile friendly. Now I use MailChimp. It allows you to preview your email in desktop and email format. The power of that is over 60% of your emails today are being opened on an iPhone or a mobile phone of some sort. So your emails you have to think about, not all, but at least the majority of your customers are looking at in that form factor and how does it look in that basis. And the old templates created years ago just don't work anymore. And the last reason why templates don't work is they're not based on your marketing strategy. You know, there's content that's easy to sell you as a realtor, and then there's a content that your customers really want to read. And you have to send the second. What's of interest to your customer? Sending out emails about pumpkins for Halloween and reminders to turn back your clocks aren't why a home seller will choose you to list their property. So you have to think about, if you're going to send an email to your most important people, your prospects, your past clients, your future customers, what do they want to read, and make sure any content you send them is towards that. And then the last reason why, the last problem that real estate agents face is the complexity. It's just way too hard to send out emails to your database. All these programs I see, there's companies that sell great content you can subscribe to. And so all you have to do is email us out your database. But that's the challenge, making that simple. So what I'm going to recommend is a solution that's very simple to execute. I've coached and helped hundreds of agents go from zero to at least sending something regularly that's professional they can monitor to their past client database. So that's number 3 is, what's our solution? And the solution really is to get into action, to make sure that you that you get something going out to people that you can monitor and review the results, get feedback, and then change. The term, which is to publish the product and then iterate on the fly over time. And just know that as you build your real estate practice, you'll be adding in new people and deleting out old people anyhow, or they'll be opting out themselves. So you got to get into action. What do I mean by that? So basically, there's a couple steps. What I call inputting names is the first step, sending some content to them, and the third one would be monitor the results. And then when you're done with that, do it again, repeat the process all over again. That's really all there is. You have to get into action by inputting names, send content, monitor the results, and repeat. So let's talk about first inputting names, because there's more to it than just that. You've got to get all of the names and emails into one place, all the phone numbers and data you have, all the paper systems that you have, all the electronic systems you have, people you meet at open houses, people you meet while you door knock. If you're a listing agent, the buyers that contact your sign calls, everybody has to go into one system. And typically, that's the system you run your business in. It might be Top Producer, Realty Juggler, Wise Agent. There's a million of them. But then I would say you have to then take all that data and add it into, or sync it with, or copy it to, or import into an email engine. because email is such an important part of the business. I recommend MailChimp. There's another one, Aweber, that has some good resources we'll talk about later. There's a number of them, but these are the ones that I've used because they're the most industry standard. So again, the first step we would talk about is get all the names into some system. Maybe it's your email, maybe it's your Google Mail, maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet, and then get them into an email engine. Then the next is you want to continue to add in names from your website, open houses, on your promotional materials. You want to have a link where they can click to add themselves into the email database. Your email signature should include a link to your email database. Your social media, you can post on Facebook and Twitter to receive content, real estate related information, real estate market information. Click here to get added in. But you want to use all these techniques to input your names all into one place. Next is the content. What are you going to send them on a regular basis? So here's the couple rules I would say. One is send them something, the same thing to everybody weekly. Now, where agents get tripped up is all these systems want you to create separate batches, separate campaigns, separate touches, one for buyers, one for sellers, one for FSBOs, one for people you door knock, one for open houses. I say send at least something to everybody once a week. Pick one day of the week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, to send everybody something. And then if you have a campaign, let's say expires or FSBOs, send that to them a different day of the week as well. But first, the basic foundation, send something to everybody to get started. And make sure it's real estate related, something that would be of interest to somebody who's looking to buy a house or looking to sell a house, since that's the business they're in. That's all that matters. That also demonstrates you to be an expert in the business. When you send out content on the market, on mortgage rates, on property tax issues, on issues affecting real estate homeowners, you're showing them that you know what they need to know. You're the person they want to do business with when it comes time to do that transaction. Now, there's a lot of content ideas. I would say that keeping in mind, this is something we want to send out every single week. You can send out, these are things used to incubate people that you meet that aren't ready to do anything with you. So you can do it in the form of a newsletter that talks about maybe multiple issues or multiple ideas. You can include new listings, but I would not just send out new listings because homeowners typically don't care outside their area about your new listings. You can send out home improvement tips, particularly ones that affect the value of the property, industry updates, and then you can add specific email series to each individual segment. What we're talking about before, for sale by owners, expireds, farm lists in a geographic area if you want to include a certain area that you want to do business in. Nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you send something to everybody first so you don't miss out on people in other areas. Also, another good email once in a while is when you segment your database. You have, let's say, 500 people in it. You might only have phone numbers on 300. Maybe the phone numbers are bad, or you didn't get the phone numbers, or came in through social media. You can send an email out to those without phone numbers saying, I'd like to give you a call about the real estate market. Is there a good phone number I can reach you at? And you'll find typically 1 to 5% will respond with a phone number, or if they're really interested, pick up the phone and call you. Now, where do you go for content ideas? I use a RSS reader program called Digg, D-I-G-G, and Digg has a reader, and I subscribe to certain real estate related newspapers and blogs, and it pulls them together there. In Google News, I create a section on real estate, or I just put real estate in Google News. It'll pop up articles on real estate. And there's a lot of different websites that put out good content. In California, CAR.org has a weekly newsletter of articles. And all I do is I just click on an article, find something I find interesting, write a couple sentences on it, and then hyperlink to the article. Now, really important step here, then number 3, once we've input the names and we're sending them content, is monitor the results. So what does that mean? So any professional marketing activity in email, at a minimum will tell you how many people open the email. Absolutely critical. Most will also tell you you can sort by who they are. And then you can sort those that you have phone numbers and not to call those with phone numbers, for example. But you have to monitor the results and see how many people are opening it. Whose email bounced back because it was bad? Whose email bounced back because it was a typo? You can correct it. The ones that bounce back or are hard or soft bounce, you can call them up and say, is there a better email I can send to you information related to real estate? So you want to see, and also the open ratio will tell you how good your content is. I find a minimum of 15% open rate for a normal database. If you have a lot of old names you haven't engaged with for a long time, it can be lower. And if it's all newer names, it should be higher. But at minimum, 50% is a good standard for the open ratio for any email you're sending out. And then who's opening your emails, you want to call them. Now you can put a call to action in your email, meaning you can like me on Facebook, you can come to my open house, another good one is text, if you have a phone number, text in to a raffle and a winner will get an iPad or a winner will get $100 donated to their favorite charity. So you can use your email to generate activity to improve your database in your business. And then all the bad emails or missing emails, you want to contact them, reach out to them to get that added into the list. So that's the basics. Input names, send out content, monitor results, and then repeat. And I'm suggesting you should send out weekly. Now, we've covered the basics. I want to go into some advanced techniques. Any questions so far on what I've covered? I don't see any hands up. Bobby or Pat or anybody else on the line today have any questions I can help you with of what we've covered so far? Okay, I don't see any in the chat room, and I don't see any hands up. No? Okay. Okay, good. So now I want to go to some what I'll call advanced techniques, and I will share with you today three advanced techniques. One is segments. So you want to segment your database, past client center of influence, and I think there you can categorize them as A, B, and C. A would be people that are able and willing and would appreciate monthly contact from you. And B, every 60-day phone call contact. C would be cold. You don't really know them. Maybe you met them in, at an open house and they've never returned your phone calls or emails and they're just sitting there. Better than a cold call because you know the phone works. At least they're still in your email list. So you want to segment them. And then you also have a segment within your past client database in your email program. Those are responding. Those people, when you call the people who are opening your emails, those are high-value targets. They like you. They hear your voice. They see the market similar way you do. They trust you and like you more than average. That's your business. You want to make sure you talk to those people regularly. Ones who are not responding, before I would cold call, at least we'll call people I've met and try to figure out why they don't like you, they're not responsive. Maybe they gave you the work email and you really need to get the personal email. And then again, the bounced emails, the bad emails, you want to find out if there's a better one. And the ones that unsubscribe, you might want to try to figure out why. Maybe they're not interested. Maybe you sent to their work email and they don't want it there and you call them and find that out. Don't be scared to ask. You also can segment buyers, sellers, expireds, and cancels, and for sale by owner. Some people work other niches like, ranches and land, investors, wherever you think you'll do business down the road. And then at some point, you can add content specific to that market niche. Another advanced technique is automations. Automations are things like when you add them to the list, you can send an email that says, hey, I got your email address recently and added my database. I send out real estate related information regularly. If you don't want the information, please click here to opt out, and there's a link to the opt out. But I hope we find the information valuable, and if you have any questions, please contact me anytime. And I send out an automated email like that now for all new additions to my email database. And then other automations, when I have a series of interest to certain real estate agents, I have a series of content from different great real estate leaders, and I send out from time to time. If you want to sign up for this information, click here, and then you can sign up for a series of weekly emails from Tony Robbins. I did one before. Darren Hardy did one before. I did one on Tom Ferry recently. So again, automations are a way that you can take your content and repurpose it and reuse it if you put time into something. Again, that's an advanced technique. And then I'm going to cover some best practices. So I would say best practices are the content should be valuable to your recipient. This is not about telling them how great you are. Do not send out a video saying I'm the greatest real estate agent. This is not about I just got an award or I just took some listings. This is giving people information they want, helping them with their biggest problem, their challenge, their fear, or their desire, which is what's my house worth? Or how can I get into the next house? What are the strategies to get there? Make sure you email things of value. Another best practice is make sure your email address on your email campaign is a domain email and one you receive. I've seen people use email programs and email from AOL.com or Earthlink.net. That just looks amateurish today. If you're a real estate agent, they expect you to be a marketing expert. Make sure it comes from a domain, whether it be your franchise like Century21.com or maybe a personalized domain name that you get. Also, I've seen people send out emails where the return address doesn't work because they don't be bothered with the emails. Trust me, you won't get that many. You'll get a lot of autoresponders, people on vacation. So just simply create a rule that puts all those into your archive right away. But don't make it that you can't get people who respond to email. That's a big mistake. Also, best practices, make sure your list is healthy by reviewing it monthly. Monthly, you should have your to-do list to download all the bounces, all the bad emails, all the unsubscribes, to figure out what's going on, to keep them out of your system and make your list as active as possible. The more active and accurate your database is, the better priority you'll get from your sender, the better results you receive. Another best practice is make sure you're in your own database. I coach a lot of agents over the years. I've coached hundreds on this and had them put me in their database so I see what they're sending out. I catch all kinds of mistakes, basic fundamentals. So I would say put yourself in your email to see what goes to your customers. Maybe add in your spouse. Certainly if you have a manager or coach, put them in and they can see it. And I would say to you, add me in if you'd like to. I'd be more glad to take a look at your content and give you some free advice as a thank you for participating in this program today. Okay, so those are the advanced techniques. Any questions about the advanced techniques we just covered? I don't see any hands up. Does that mean I covered everything, or any questions out there? Any questions at all? I don't see any. I don't pretend to be that good a speaker, but I'm glad to see that I've covered things well. So I have for you today a couple of free gifts. I have a free ebook that all attendees will get. You'll get an email link to download in PDF format, an ebook that covers a lot of what I covered here today from the AWeber series. And they also will offer you a free 30-day trial of their service. It's a popular one that links into WordPress and is well known with marketers around the country. So hopefully you'll find that to be valuable, the ebook from AWeber. Also, if you'd like, now I'm a couple things I would say that if you email me personally, I'd be glad to send you my notes from today's talk. More importantly, I'm a real estate coach. I coach these products, and I would say I actually more consult on this in detail. And so if you'd like a free 45-minute consult on your marketing program, feel free to click on apply.billgrosscoaching.com. Now, I'll say this is more for full-time agents who are looking to invest money in their business because it costs money and time to build your business. But if you fall in that category, I'd be glad to review with you for on the phone for 45 minutes in depth what you're doing now in your marketing program. If I think I can help you, where I can help you. If I can't, maybe I can refer you some other services. So those are free gifts. You'll get the ebook automatically. And then if you'd like to consult a little further, feel free to click on apply.billgrosscoaching.com. Now that's all I have prepared today. Any questions on what we covered so far today? Any questions on what we covered today? Okay. Well, if not seeing any, thank you so much for being on the call today. I'm going to leave the screen on for you a little bit just in case you want to click on for coaching call. Of course, again, if you're on the call today, you'll for free get an email within an hour that has a link to the download of the ebook and the free trial offer from AWeber. Thank you so much for being on the call today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you, everybody.